The second part of Marozzo's righty versus lefty plays begin with a thrust, much in the same way that Marozzo's later part does. So the footing is the same. If their sword foot is forward, you put your shield foot forward, and you throw. This is if you want to be the agent against your opposite-handed opponent. The first part was as the patient. The second part is as the agent. So as the agent, I'm going to throw a falso imputato, which is kind of like a wider thrust like this to the face above their sword. So if their sword is coming at me out like this, I'm going to stick my sword above it at their face as I step. Falso imputato is important because it's at an angle like this. To stop it, they have to push Y to stop my blade, making their point go way out of distance. Enough that it makes the next action possible, which is a mandrito to the leg. It's weird, he says right leg, but it's against a lefty, and the lefty's left foot is forward, and why would I do a mandrito against the right leg, which is over here? I think that he said the wrong word, or wrong word was translated. Either way, I bring that falso imputato step. They try to parry it, so I can easily disengage and bring an attack to their leg, and then finish up with a reverso squalembrato as I return back to my normal step. Because you always want to return safely, throw, step, cut, cut. This is if I want to be the agent or aggressor. Throw, cut, cut. The reason he cuts at the leg, I believe, is because it's the farthest easiest distance to attack. He parries this way. He parries my point this way, so I can bring this down very easily, as opposed to this, which, what's blocking their left side is their buckler. So any cut, any big cut over here that Marozzo would like to do, because it makes their sword travel farther, you can't do because their shield is blocking them. So this is the area that is farthest from where their sword is going, that is easiest to get. The second part of Marozzo's second part is another thrust, because the first part is cuts, second part is thrusts. First one was a falso imputato, and it was so that attack was pushed to my outside. This time I'm bringing that thrust in between their swords and their shield. Thrust between the sword and shield. Now, because it's between there, they're going to... It's not preferable to parry with their shield. They're going to parry with their sword, and they're going to push it toward my inside. So his sword will parry my sword on the inside. I guess it's their sword. And then I make that thrust with a pass. They parry it to the inside. So I cut to their head. And then, assuming they make an attack to my outside, or for some reason I'm going to beat their blade out here. It says to come back into Codalunga Alta and then beat their blade out. It says beat their blade outward, I think. So I think they're bringing an attack to my left side. So I beat it out. Then he says, cut Mandrito with a diagonal step outward. So thrust between their blades, parried, cut. He doesn't say it's parried. He says thrust, make that cut to the head, go back to Codalunga Alta, beat their blade, cut Mandrito. He doesn't really say anything about what they're doing. So I have to fill in the blanks a little bit. So thrust, parried, cut out, beat out, cut. And this final cut is to the face, to the head. And then make a half turn of the sword and come back into Codalunga Alta. Thrust to their dominant side of their face, cut to their head, beat, cut to their head.